2.5 centuries later, a would-be king has ordered U.S. troops to occupy Los Angeles and to parade down the streets of Washington, D.C., to parade like the North Korean forces of Kim Jong-un. But we are here to say, no, that is not who we are. We are gathered in Philadelphia and in 2,000 cities and towns across America today. We are everyday people of every race, creed, and community and political affiliation, uniting in the great nonviolent tradition of those who came before us to demonstrate a better way, a way we have learned through this nation's painful struggles. The struggles that have taught us that we either go forward together or backwards divided. We are not a people who bow and give total allegiance to any ruler or policy, because bowing is not freedom and bowing is not in our spiritual DNA. We cannot be who we were made to be unless we are free. We are not a people who give loyalty to a king. No, we, the people of the United States of America, are at our best when we are striving to be united by our commitment to liberty and justice for all. Now, we must be honest. America has never been all that she aspires to be, but every stride toward freedom, every step toward a more perfect union has been grounded in this commitment to freedom, liberty, and justice for all. Declaring that we are created equal and endowed by our Creator with certain inalienable rights, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Writing in our Constitution, we the people, in order to form a more perfect union. Already that is a confession of our imperfection. But we want to establish justice, to provide for the common defense, ensure domestic tranquility, and promote the general welfare. These are the principles that have always reminded us, pulled us, challenged us in the deepest recesses of our moral consciousness, that we who believe in freedom cannot rest. And in the face of any challenge that would have us bow and accept something less, we say no. Truth is, these are not liberal or conservative commitments. They are moral values that can unite us and connect us to the best of who we are and keep us from ever bowing to a wannabe king. So today, we demonstrate with amazing clarity and speak the truth with strength. And the truth is, Donald Trump's regime is not illegally deploying American troops on U.S. soil because he's strong. He's abusing his authority as commander-in-chief, trying to pick a fight on America's streets because his agenda is incredibly unpopular. His political positions and his claims are weak and failing and contrary to our moral values. The truth is, you are the strength of America. He said he could end conflicts in other parts of the world with a phone call, but wars of aggression rage on. He said he could unite us, we're more divided. He said he was going to stand up for working people, but he handed the government over to a billionaire before their big bad breakup. He said he'd bring prices down, but his wild talk about tariffs has created economic uncertainty. He said he could deal with Gaza and deal with Ukraine, and things have gotten worse. He said his budget was big and beautiful, but the truth is it's big and greedy and ugly and destructive and deadly to the most vulnerable. Ezra joined us last week as we've been gathering for Moral Mondays in D.C. since this big ugly budget bill has been before Congress. They have arrested us, but they've not stopped our prayers or our prophetic critique to arrest the consciousness of America. Americans are learning the details of how this big, ugly, deadly, bad bill would kill tens of thousands of people in our community by stripping health insurance from 15 million Americans, closing hospitals, slashing nutrition assistance programs, leaving millions of hungry children, cutting thousands of jobs supported by green energy crisis. And according to a report from the public health scholars at Yale and the University of Pennsylvania, the cuts to health care alone would kill 51,000 Americans next year. And the more people learn about its details, the less popular Trump's signature legislation becomes law, and his attempt to move more money from the poor and working poor to the wealthy that was transferred from chattel slavery. Because of this, you cannot be silent, and the cries of the people will not be silent. That is why this regime is in panic, and when an authoritarian is weak, he will do anything to get attention. But we don't have to give Trump and MAGA what they want. We don't have to bow by waving a flag at his parade. Our demonstration of moral strength is in opposition to the tyranny that threatens our very existence as a country. And this kind of gathering can unite us in a moral movement to save America. And we will not stand down, not now, not ever. Because the truth is, when it comes to the need to stand up for the Constitution over a ruler who would ignore the court, we are indivisible. When it comes to the need to repair breaches between those who have health care and those who don't, we are indivisible. When it comes to the conviction that everyone deserves to be treated with dignity and respect, we are indivisible. When it comes to our commitment that no child should go hungry in this, the richest nation in the world, we are indivisible. And when it comes to the essential role of government to serve the people rather than to serve a king, we are indivisible. Now might I close as a preacher? In the book of Daniel in the Bible, there's an ancient story where three young men, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, they were thrown into a fiery furnace for their refusal to bow. They refused to bow to a king that loved to put his name on buildings and ride around and make everybody bow to him. Well, they were thrown in, and they were not consumed, however, by the flames of the furnace. Instead, as they were thrown in, the people witnessed a fourth force come in and walk them through the fire. My fellow Americans, I stopped by this afternoon to remind you that when we tap into our moral power and refuse to bow, there is a greater power in the universe that will come and stand with us. In the final years of the anti-apartheid struggle in South Africa, they used to say only a dying mule kicks the hardest. So we must maintain discipline, refuse to meet violence with violence, and keep our focus on an agenda that lifts us all to higher ground. We must join hands across all the lines that have been drawn to divide us and stand together as we the people. And when we do, I know a force more powerful than any of our individual actions will come and stand with us in the fight. That's what the best of American history has taught us. I stopped by to tell you and to remind you today that the force of truth, the force of love, the force of justice, and the force of equality is more powerful than any would-be king. More powerful than brute force. More powerful than mean money. More powerful than big tech feudalism. More powerful than anything we know. When we stand up and when we stand together and when we refuse to bow, we can build a movement to save the heart and soul of America. Are you standing? When the founders refused to bow to King George, a fourth force stood with them. When the slave abolitionists right here in Philadelphia, black and white, refused to bow to the king-like rule of chattel slavery and slave masters, a fourth force stood with them. When women, black and white, refused to bow to those who didn't want them to vote, a fourth force stood with them. When segregationists and Jim Crow politicians lips dreamt with the words of interposition and nullification, people like Rosa Parks and Viola LaRussa and Fannie Lou and Martin and Rabbi Heschel, men and women of every birth, refused to bow, and a fourth force stood with them. And I tell you, the force of truth and the force of love and the force of equality and the force of justice is more powerful than any would-be king named Trump or MAGA or anything. And so it's time. It's time for us to stand together like never before. Because when we all get together, we have the power to reconstruct American democracy. Did you know that if just 20% of us, if we organize 20% of the non-voters in the last election, especially poor and low-wage voters who couldn't see how casting a ballot could make a difference in their lives, if we can organize them, we can upend the whole political calculus. If we go to every state, not just the so-called swing state, but every state, and if we win back some of our confused friends, we can upend the whole political calculus. If we refuse to bow and stand up for policies that make life better for every American, if we come together just one more round in history to fight for the heart and soul of this democracy, I declare unto you that when the work is done, when we finish organizing, when we've done praying and preaching, when we finish marching, when we finish registering voters, when we finish our nonviolent action, I guarantee you truth will win, justice will win, equality will win, justice will win, and on that day we will truly be one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Stand! 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 Stand!
Please give a warm Philadelphia welcome to Congressman Jamie Raskin.
Hello, Philadelphia. Hello, America. I represent Ezra and Leah in the United States House of Representatives, so I like to think of myself as the congressman from Indivisible. But I came to Philly because it's a tough and a loving city, and you know how to topple kings here. You've been crushing tyrants since 1776. Come together, as Reverend Barber says, in the spirit of democratic, non-violent resistance. We pray for the families of Minnesota State Representative Melissa Hortman and her husband Mark, and for Minnesota State Senator John Hoffman and his wife. These are our brothers and sisters in the struggle for a more just America, shot down in cold blood and broad daylight. We pray for them and all of the people of Minnesota. The spirit of Philadelphia is the spirit of America. We've got no kings here. We've got no queens here. We've got no emperors. We've got no titles of nobility here. President Trump, happy 79th birthday. Sorry we couldn't make it to your party, but we did pay for it.
You know, a big sweep in the midterms and representation.
You are not our king, and we are not your subjects. We will never be your subjects.
I think it's important.
The people are sovereign, and we are all equal in the eyes of the law. All of us born here on this land are citizens, and your executive order is nothing but bad graffiti on the Constitution, and we're going to wash it off today. We've got no kings and we've got no slaves. We've got no masters and no serfs. Those of us who aspire and attain the public office are nothing but the servants of the people. And the moment that somebody in public office begins to act like the master of the people, that is the moment to evict, eject, reject, impeach, try, convict, and start all over again. Under Article 1, President Trump, your job is simple: to take care that the laws are faithfully executed. That's it. In the monarchies, Tom Paine said, the king is the law, but in the democracies and the free societies, the law is king. You didn't get that memo, did you, Mr. President? You've been violating the law. You've been trampling the law. You've been ignoring the law, acting as if it's irrelevant to the only thing that matters, which is your own wealth and power. What if Thomas Jefferson were here? What if Abraham Lincoln were here? What would they say? They would say, cut it out. Stop violating the rights of the people. Stop trespassing on the powers of Congress. Stop staging provocations against the members of Congress and other parts of the government. Stop violating the orders of the courts. President Trump, your gangster state just threw Senator Padilla. Your agents barged into Congressman Nadler's office and handcuffed and traumatized his young staffer. Your guys arrested a judge in Wisconsin. You indicted Representative LaMonica MacGyver from New Jersey on phony charges, and she now faces 17 years in prison. You're terrorizing American communities with masked men in unmarked cars, arresting people without warrants. You pardoned 1,600 felon rioters and insurrectionists who brutally injured 140 police officers on January 6, 2021. You're auctioning off pardons to Republican criminals in D.C. like they're selling cheesesteaks in Philadelphia. You're a billion-dollar crypto king now who dropped dozens of charges against crypto scammers. And now you want to fly around on Bribe Force One, an illegal $400 million jumbo jet grift from the emirs of Qatar. You sent the Marines to California. You hijacked the National Guard there. You threatened to seize the lawful power of the governor of California, the mayor of Los Angeles, and the chief of police, and you threatened to send heavy force to cities all over America this weekend to remind us of your love. But you know what? I don't see anybody trembling in Philadelphia today. I don't see anybody hiding behind the couch crying bone spurs today. It's raining and I see nothing but tens of thousands of patriots wherever I turn. And we paid for our own rally today. It's not on the taxpayers. We marched with millions of people across America to celebrate not the people in power, but the power of the people. We march in cadence with the great civilizing, nonviolent movements of American history, the abolitionists, the suffragists, the bonus marchers, the civil rights movement, the women's movement, the labor movement, the peace movement, the women's march, the environmental movement, the LGBTQ movement, March for Our Lives, and the climate movement. We may not be founding fathers in the 18th century, but we are founding fighters in the 21st century. So what do you say, Philly? You ready to fight back? You want a gangster state, or do you want free speech and democracy in America? You want a king? You want a king who thinks, like all kings, that women are his property and he can grab whomever he wants, wherever he wants? Or do you want a democracy run by strong women and strong men, strong enough to be the allies of women and not their attackers and harassers?
Tell me more!
You want a king who stages coups and insurrections and lies about elections? Or do you want a constitutional right to vote in America? Free from all the gerrymandering and voter suppression. You want an imperialist takeover of Greenland and Canada and Panama? Or do you want statehood for Washington, D.C. and Puerto Rico? Hey, you want a king who tries to erase history and disappear the truth? Or do you want Bruce Springsteen, who tells them the truth all over the world? You know, Donald Trump never talks about the framers because he knows nothing about them. But the framers knew a lot about people like Donald Trump. Sometime between now and the 4th of...
Hey, what's up? How you doing?
Good, man. How are you?
I'm good, I'm good.
Yeah. Is everything?
Yeah, it seems pretty tense with those. I want to stick around just because. Yeah, you never know, but so far it's pretty
Thank you.
Good, good, good. What's that? Yeah, yeah. Also, I wasn't sure if my water. I was like, I'm not going to this week. Yeah. Yeah, I need to buy one though. Usually, I wear a backpack. Yeah, something with this. That's good. What kind did you get? Tyranny? Good water bottle? Yeah. I gotta get one of those. Absolutely. Even not good, but just running around and it's super good. Absolutely. You know, I have to carry this all the time now. Yeah. There's no way, right? Yeah. Especially when it's like this. Absolutely. I kind of just sent feeds, yeah. Right now I'm just kind of on. Yeah, what's that? 38, it's early, right? What's supposed to be done at 2, right? It's supposed to be done at 2, I think. Scheduled to be done at 2. This? Yeah. I'll leave you do your thing. All right, man. If someone passes out, it's me. Just look up. Okay, bro. Take care.
will not put up with ICE. We will not put up with ICE. We will not put up with ICE. We will not put up with ICE. Deportations! No borders! No nations! Stop the 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 deportations! 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 The walls have got to go! The walls have got to go! Palestine to Mexico! The walls have got to go! Palestine to Mexico! The walls have got to go! Palestine to Mexico! The walls have got to go! 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 Immigrants are welcome here. Immigrants are welcome here. Immigrants are welcome here. No fear, no hate, no ICE in our state. No fear.
What would I do? Do anything what?
Hey, that's your history. That's your history.
will leave some.
Yeah. Left or right? Probably right. Kind of around this way.
Well, the thing is,
Can I go that way?
Yeah, can we go that way?
How much is worth it? Yeah, I can't tell.
It's going to be 10 of your officers with their name out there and address. Phone number, you name it, picture, it's all going to be
Are
there.
you down or staying?
So you can
Huh?
stay,
Are you staying?
I'm staying.
check the
Let's see,
picture for that. You can absolutely
Looks like they're going right. I might cut them off this way. Move them down the thing.
Yeah, I saw that.
Cat's customer service at 704-336-7433 for additional assistance. El elevador de la estación Taipona está fuera de servicio. Para el servicio de transporte, baje en la estación Portland o en la estación Archdale. Si necesita más ayuda, llame al servicio de atención al cliente CATS al 704-336-7433.
Hey, hey, hey,
No justice, no peace. No justice, no peace.
No justice, no peace.
No justice, no peace. Democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. Show them what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. Show them what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like.
Chinga la migra!
thinking like what's the right move? If I could, be in the front, I think this is the right move. They can't. Those guys back there stop. Those are gonna work. Yeah, this is their time. So the permits was until 2. So they spoke until like 12, and then we all did a round. I think we went down this way. I think we came down this way. And then we left, because we were up on the train tracks. They cleared us all. Turn around, march again. So where do they go? Yeah. Let's go.
Free Palestine! 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 Something's going on there.
Where's that say?
Exactly why he stood on the new bridge. In the 40s, actually, it was I know it sounded like a conspiracy theory at first, but it's not that effective. I mean, yeah.
democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like.
Say it once, say it twice. You will not put off the fight.
What's your name? What's your name? Hollister? And your number? 4449.
Careful.
Appreciate you.
Share their perspectives and their strength with us now. We're going to rally for a little while, and then we are going to leave this area together, marching back where we came from to keep each other safe. So, one more time, Trump must go now! 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 Where are we going to be? July 1st through July 4th? Washington, D.C. Where are we going to be? July 1st through July 4th? Washington, D.C. Where are we going to be? July 1st through July 4th? Washington, D.C. That's right, Washington, D.C. and on July 4th, right in front of the White House to make the biggest chant ever, Trump must go now! 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 Okay, I want to welcome up Morgan from the Refuse Fascism DMV chapter.
Holy crap, look at you guys! Look at us! Look at us! We have a lot to be proud of, people. Let me tell you something. My name is Morgan, and my people have been in this country, or colony, or whatever you want to call it, since 1720, okay? I come from enslaved people. I come from people who had their families ripped apart. I come from people who lived through Jim Crow, who lived through the civil rights movement, who fought for everything we're fighting for again now. This is enough, America. This is enough. My grandfather was a Tuskegee Airman, okay? If you don't know what that is, you really need to look it up. He was a fighter pilot, all right? In the museum down the way, the African American History Museum, there's pictures in there. But guess what? Guess what Trump is doing? He is marching things that are representatives of the contributions and the lives that black folks have had in this country and marching it right out the door. Shame on him! Shame! Shame on him! This president is doing division. He is also erasing. Moving that stuff out of the museum. Where are we going to see it? Where are we going to learn about it? We're not going to, and that's what he's trying to do. You are racist. He's definitely a racist. But the thing is, he's trying to erase us. He's trying to make us forget about our history. And we cannot do that. We cannot do that. If we don't know where we're come from, where do we go? Where do we go? We had powerful people do powerful things, and this monster is wiping it all away. Now, I'm looking around the crowd, and oftentimes I see I'm one of the only black or brown people out here. It's time. I see a lot more black and brown faces today, and I am proud. Because we all need to be out here and stand in courage. Here's the thing. Do you guys remember the ice raids when they were separating mothers and children? I think there was a lady yesterday who was pregnant that had guns held on her. Like, what the hell? Anyways, remember those images. Now go back to the 1930s, 40s. You've seen those images before. You've seen those images before. And if you went to a decent school, you've also seen what happened to black families being separated. You see it now today. It is time for us to unite. We cannot let them to continue to divide us. So stand up, America. Stand up. Be brave. Have courage. This is our time. Our ancestors, our parents, they've done all this. Now is the time to stand up and be brave. So let me say two more things. I stand with refuse fascism because they believe in what happens here is going to affect the rest of the world. We all are here because we understand that what happens here will affect the rest of the world. So thank you for being here, and finally, make sure you drink a lot of freaking water, because it is hot as hell out here. Welcome to Washington, D.C. Let's get this monster out of office.
All right, make some noise for yourselves. Now, in order to go forward from today, to organize even more people, many, many, many more people, to come out on July 1st through the 4th to declare our independence from a Trump fascist America, you gotta get connected to the movement. So right now, if your phone isn't out, take it out. And I'm gonna give you some options. You can go onto your social media platform of choice and follow @RefuseFascism, @RefuseFascism. Do that now.
Good! That's what this is about, connecting!
Such good community members. The second thing that you can do is you can text, I have to look at the number because I don't have it memorized. You can text No Trump, NOTRUMP, to 855-755-1314. No Trump to 855, say it with me, because the people in the back still can't hear. 755 1314.
1314.
No Trump.
No Trump.
To 855 755 1314. And I'm being told one more time. So one more time. No Trump.
No Trump.
To 855 755 1314. It's really sunny, so I want to remind folks to drink water. Yep. And before we bring up our next speaker, I wanna thank you again for being out here together, for marching together, for having each other's backs. This is the only place to be. It really is. It really is. Right in front of the White House, as close as they'll let us go, saying no to Trump's fascist military parade, saying in the name of humanity, we refuse to accept a fascist America, and demanding Trump must go now. So I want you to give a lot of love for our next speaker, Chance Meeting.
It's a little treacherous up here. Alright, bear with me everybody, because I got a lot of shit to say. The world has reached a boiling point, and we have to take accountability. For too long, we as a nation turned our heads while atrocities happened on our tax dollars. While prison slave labor and child slave labor is used to make our clothes and our phones, to have the chocolate we savor, to have the jewels we decorate our bodies with, we are a country that profits from perpetuating war. The economy of our military-industrial complex depends on it. For too long, we've fed the war machine, and we've benefited from what it churned out. We're a country that lies to our citizens to manufacture consent for that war machine, to infiltrate and terrorize foreign nations to pillage their land for natural resources. We allow it, we pay for it, so long as we don't have to see it and we can distract ourselves from thinking about it. We're a country that perpetuates poverty within our own borders. And then we punish those who are impoverished. All all while upholding the billionaires that are the main perpetrators of this system of cruelty that America as a whole has largely benefited from.
Noise! Noise! Noise!
We are a country built on violent colonization and
We are
a country imbued with deep-seated systemic racism wielded by those in power to divide and control the masses. A country that uses the same organized religion. We are a country that whitewashes the history of which and bans books and curriculum to perpetuate this system it brought. We are a country that has been funding and facilitating a genocide of the Palestinian people and then uses lies, propaganda, fear-mongering, and illegal detainment to silence those that speak out against the slaughter of innocent men, women, and children in Israel's racist pursuit of ethno-religious supremacy. It's no coincidence that Israel attacked Iran right after the U.S. removed embassy personnel from the Middle East. It's no coincidence that just a week ago, Trump put sanctions on the ICC judges that put out the warrant for Netanyahu's arrest. We can no longer look away while these atrocities happen, while we watch them take place through our phone screens. We cannot be a world that stays numb to this kind of suffering. Our collective, careless complicity in the cruelty of this world has become our undoing. The chickens have come home to roost. The fascism we are facing is the imperialism the United States and the West have been terrorizing the world with for decades upon decades, now turned inward. The enemy within refers to anyone they deem expendable or that disagrees with their authoritarianism. We are not barreling towards fascism, we are in the midst of it. We are a country with a wannabe dictator who is facilitating a violent ethnic cleansing in Palestine while trying to institute it here. The genocide that is happening there is intrinsically linked to the ethnic cleansing they want here. Because it is backed by the same fascist tactics and technology and bolstered by the same violent colonization, imperialism, and white supremacy. We have a wannabe dictator who turns the military against his own people, against protesters, and then has a military parade for his birthday in the most blatant move of overcompensation I have ever seen. A wannabe dictator that sells all of our private information to the highest bidder to create AI databases that profile us based on our conduct on social media to measure allegiance to the state and punish us for thought crimes. A fascist military police state is not around the corner. It is here. Trump has been doing everything this whole presidency for the same reasons. To consolidate power and shock the general public into compliance. To justify his authority. They want you to be so overwhelmed that you do not engage. They want you to give him that power. They want to normalize this state of fear. Do not let them, because Donald Trump is a deeply dumb and unserious person. But his hateful stupidity and his position makes him incredibly dangerous to us all. The people that surround him are the real threat. The ideological fascists like J.D. Vance and Peter Thiel, who bankrolled J.D. Vance's entire political career and handpicked members of Trump's cabinet. They actively want to destroy democracy because they quote the fascist philosophy of the chinless king incel himself, Curtis Yarvin. Right now, they need Donald Trump because he is the cult leader that can bring about their change. It's not a conspiracy theory, it is all in writing. They want to bring about the end of democracy and set up tech monarchies where the billionaire CEOs of these tech companies with their AI weaponry and surveillance rule like kings over a working class whose characters must fit rigidly within their ideology. Everyone else is people they deem undesirables. To quote Curtis Yarvin, he said the best alternative to genociding undesirables is permanent solitary confinement. Wax like a bee larva into a cell which is sealed except for emergencies. And then said the most profitable disposition for dealing with undesirables is to convert them to biodiesel. This is the man that the billionaire CEOs quote. A lot of his writings run parallel with the contents of Project 2025. Do not be mistaken. These are evil people. Their evil is connected throughout the world in its conflicts, and it exists because of the system of cruelty that we have perpetuated to give them unprecedented wealth and power to carry out these plans. But I remind you, we overwhelmingly outnumber them. Do not fear them because they need to fear us. Trump is responsible for this chaos and war, as are his fascist administration and the anti-democracy tech billionaires and the Heritage Foundation, the authors of Project 2025, and the white supremacists and the delusional cultists. All of these Nazis are to blame. Anyone who supports Trump is on the wrong side of history, and history will judge. Hard lines are being drawn, and the choice is simple. You're either not a fascist, or you are one. Thank you.
Everybody that was chanting, give us a chance. Trump must go now. Trump must go now. Trump must go now. Trump must go now. Trump must go now.
We won.
And where are we going to be on July 4th?
Hold it! This was the flag of the D-Day Silver flag. White immigrant natives across the ocean were the trust that liberate Europe. And we don't have to whitewash our history to be proud of our progress, y'all.
Because people are bringing different things to bear, and we're coming together on this.
But it's also in place
Sam is going to introduce our next speaker, and he's going to come
those who are demanding better of our country, and it lives up to its ideals. This is the flag. This is the flag of civil rights.
All right.
Sides, guys. Let the fans be please. Sides. Liberty and justice for all. 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 We fly this flag together with our pride flag, our Black Lives Matter flag, our Mexican flag, our Black Heritage flag, each word of Una. Now the city one
Down with the fascists! Up with the people! Down with the fascists!
give a challenge to all of us. A republic, if you keep it. This right here, right now, in this moment, this is where we keep it. This is where we keep it. Keep it by showing up, by marching together. Not in lockstep, but in solidarity. We do it by saying this flag, and it doesn't belong to all of us, it doesn't belong to any of us. Today, we are doing the most Justice demands action, and that we are not done fighting the country we know is possible. How many kings? Whose flag? There are millions of Americans today under the same banner. But Philly, yet again, this is the flagship event, part of the fun. Also, the national cameras are on us. They are here. So if you will indulge me, I'd like to send a very clear message to the world. Thousands of us with one voice, lead us in a pledge of allegiance. Incredible display of powerful people showing up for their constitutional rights. This is not the end, but this can be an inflection point for our democracy. So I'm going to ask you to take some action. If you ever work with Indivisible, we're not just about speeches, we're about action. Take out your phone. Take out your phone. How are we going to coordinate after this movement? How are we going to push forward? How are we going to be the persistent force for democracy? We're going to text No Kings, NOKINGS, to the number 59798. No Kings, 59798. Then on Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern, we're all gathering together to talk about the next steps, how we carry this movement forward. Donald Trump's not done. Are we done? Are we done? Thank you for being part of what is a historic movement for liberty and justice for all. We are stronger than the forces seeking to divide us. There are more of us than there are of them. Together we will win. One last time, how many kings? How many kings? I'll see you on Monday.
Quiero bailar. She is a leader of the RevCom Corps for the Emancipation of Humanity in Los Angeles. She was in Los Angeles at the beginning of the upsurge there, and she is here with us today now.
All right, everybody, y'all look so beautiful. Give it up for yourselves. As Lucha said, I am Michelle. I came all the way from LA out here because we had to be here in the capital of the U.S. to oppose this fascist military parade. And I'm very happy to be out here in the streets with all of y'all. So look, Trump's decision to hold a military parade on his birthday was already a major move as part of the dangerous momentum and direction of MAGA fascism. What does it mean that this happens after a week? Yes, storming restaurants and Home Depot parking lots to carry out mass roundups. Yes, roundups without any due process. what are you going to do now? That's right. I am Michelle and I follow the revolutionary leader Mobilization, who has said of Trump mega fascism that this is, quote, not a time for demoralization and despair. This is a time for righteous anger and revolutionary determination, unquote. This is a time for collective action and self-sacrificing struggle for the greater good of defeating fascism. This fight for the greater good would be in a much better place if people knew what Mobilization has contributed to the understanding of the danger represented by Trump mega fascism. What we're really facing, why, and what must be done to defeat it before it is too late is a pamphlet that you can get from the people wearing the Revolution Nothing Less t-shirts that are right here. To my right, our contingent. Get these pamphlets and get into this, because look, more recently, in Mobilization official Revolution number 117, Trump mega fascists, cruel, demented, dark ages oppressors who twist reality inside out to justify their lawless tyranny. He says this: Trump himself plays the victim while he tramples all over the law and the Constitution he has sworn to uphold. He continually whines that he has been unfairly prosecuted because of moves to hold him accountable for the serious crimes he has committed, including his attempt to pull off a coup to remain in power after he lost the 2020 election. What does it mean when these people pose as victims and protectors of victims? It means that they are moving to use the power of the government to even more viciously and violently prosecute those who, in reality, are actually discriminated against and oppressed, and those who stand with them and stand in the way of Trump mega fascism. Everyone who wants to see an end to oppression based on race, sex, and gender, and an end to cruel, murderous oppression and lawless tyranny overall needs to be actively involved now and in an ongoing way in the massive movement that is urgently needed to defeat this Trump mega fascism, to create the conditions in the country where this fascist regime cannot govern and cannot carry out the even worse horrors it is moving to violently enforce. So that was from Mobilization, and you can get the pamphlet again from the RevCom Corps for the Emancipation of Humanity. We brought our contingent and we marched with y'all here today. And let me say this to those in the military: are you really okay with becoming the right hand of the fascist Trump, even as he makes clear he does not believe the U.S. Constitution applies to him and issues executive orders to strip away basic constitutional rights? Are you okay with being the reason high school graduation ceremonies are marked by terror and tears as they occur, with side by side with tanks, helicopters, and U.S. soldiers deployed at the whims of Donald Trump into a U.S. city to enforce these illegal and illegitimate roundups and threaten a governor, mayor, congress member, senator, and union leader? To the tens of millions of people who do not want to see a fascist America, are you going to back down when Trump threatens and as he is using force to attack righteous protesters and even government officials who stand in the way of his fascist program? Are you going to surrender the future to a fascist bully? That's right, hell no! This is a time to draw a line and say no. In the name of humanity, we refuse to accept a fascist America, to move the millions with clarity of mission and message to demand Trump must go now. That's right. And let me give a huge shout out to those of you who did come out all over the country and here in Washington, D.C. right up against Trump's perverse display of might. Your courageous stand today with the clarity of mission and message that Refuse Fascism brought us together for is part of what is needed to unite all who can be united and really move millions in the kind of nonviolent mobilization that is needed. So give yourself a necessary for all those who say they are opposed to this Trump mega fascism to engage in principled relations with each other, working tirelessly to unite all who can be united in order to defeat this fascism, and approaching differences in that context and with that orientation. So let me say, we in the RevCon Corps for the emancipation of humanity, we are not out for ourselves or motivated by anything lesser than the emancipation of all of humanity. We are serious about working together for the greater good of defeating fascism, and we are also serious about making a real emancipating revolution, because this whole system is rotten and illegitimate, and we need and we demand a whole new way to live, a fundamentally different system. So if you got the heart to fight for something worth fighting for, if you won't back down from fascist threats, and don't care how much shit you get for refusing to accept the lie that there is no alternative to this capitalist imperialist system, if you want to be part of a disciplined revolutionary force, I want you for the RevCon Corps for the emancipation of humanity. So come for the emancipation of humanity, get organized, and thank you all very much. Y'all are beautiful.
Thank you so much, Michelle. Once again, Michelle Chai from the RevCon Corps. Okay, we're going to have two speakers here to close out this round. I want to say just how important it is. People are talking to this. You know this. But I want you to realize what you've done here today is something that means something for people across this country and around the world. You've done something that is taking a step forward. It is taking a step forward for how we become millions that drive this regime from power. And that do that before it is too late. And that is why our demand, which I will chant with you again before our next speaker, is Trump must go now. 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 Okay, I'm going to bring up John Rohr from World Beyond War.
Friends, thank you for showing up today for the people of the United States. I'm not a military veteran, but I have served on unarmed protection teams on 4 continents in several war zones. I know the power of what people can do and unarmed people can do. It is more than any military can accomplish other than keeping a tyrant in place. We have all heard the expression, freedom isn't free. It's almost always associated with praising our military and the sacrifice veterans have made. But the question for the moment is, what are the greatest threats to our freedom in the here and now? And how can we be protected from them? What is the price of freedom and who must pay it? We're here today to address the most immediate loss of the freedom of government, the fascist, and damage to the rule of law, the laws of the land that are now being ignored. But before this administration came to power, we had some serious threats to our future. The greatest which, and I know people hate to think about it, is nuclear weapons. It's been mentioned already. There are 12,000 of these. They can be here in a couple of hours and end everything. We have environmental collapse, climate collapse. We have pandemics to worry about. Worst of all, we have the tremendous wealth inequality that's growing that is leaving millions impoverished. All these will need to be addressed, and what we learn in facing this government is how to do that. And as I look at all those threats, it's hard to imagine that a strong military can protect us from anything. They certainly make it worse to a large extent, and worst of all, the military can be co-opted by a tyrant, something we're seeing being done in this ridiculous parade today. So soldiers who find identity in this kind of display will be the ones who enforce our loss of freedom, unless they ask themselves the question. The question I have for every member of the armed forces and every police officer is, what is your red line? What order will you refuse to follow because it violates your oath to the Constitution, your duty to protect the common good or even defend basic human dignity. I think of the police officers who surround every demonstration I witness. They're usually polite, do a good job of protecting people from traffic, and sometimes intervene with counter-protesters. Most of the time, I appreciate their work. So my question to them is, what are you going to do when they give you an order to arrest us for no more than we're doing now? What are you going to do when they give us an order, not just to arrest us, but to beat us up? And what are you going to do when they give an order not just to arrest us, but to deport us from concentration camps? We need a relationship with every military person in our families, our neighbors, and these guys surrounding us today who have put up all these cages for us. To answer that question ahead of time, because if they don't, they will all most certainly follow orders, as we're seeing with the Marines in LA. A little more direction. But the police and the military are not the conveners of this demonstration today or the thousands of others going across the country. I commend you today for speaking out with your bodies and your signs. But will demonstrations be enough? We have a few thousand people here in a city of 600,000 people. These militaries are trained, largely in Israel and many other places for crowd control, and can handle millions of demonstrators. Demonstrations like this are best way to prove ourselves that we are not alone, that we care for each other, and a lot of people care about our cause. But they have had little effect, for example, on ending the U.S. support for the destruction in Gaza and other places. Our most powerful tools are those in the huge arsenal of nonviolent actions. Things like blockading illegal deportations without due process, blocking with our bodies illegal shipments of weapons, refusing to pay taxes until the rich pay their share and the government obeys the law. But our single most powerful tool is probably the general strike. We have got to learn from our friends in the unions and the people that have done this before how to withdraw our cooperation, not just by demonstrating, but refusing to go to work, working for ourselves rather than the system, and all the incredible things that have accomplished so much in the nonviolent history. This means we have to plan, train, organize, and provide mutual aid to each other so that those willing and able to take the more serious risks will have the support they need. And this can be done without violence. The tyrant is dependent on us doing nothing or doing the violence that justifies these police and repression. Yes. So if you believe that freedom isn't free, and clearly it is not, then we need to stop thinking that the only thing between us and tyranny are the police and the military. The price of freedom needs to be paid for all of us, by all of us. Your being here makes me think you agree. As I finish, just take a minute to look around. We're blessed to be here, surrounded by so much natural and artistic beauty. There's nothing
Stephen Miller!
Fuck Stephen Miller! Fuck Stephen Miller! Fuck Stephen Miller! Fuck Stephen Miller!
Wasn't there like there was people writing policy papers about how
I say that sometimes.
Yeah, it was more the cream sauce.
swore an oath to the Constitution, and I'm watching the President of the United States trying to circumvent that oath that he also took to the Constitution, and I'm not going to stand for it.
And how do you feel being a veteran about, watching the Marines get brought into Los Angeles, the National Guard deployed, and, we're celebrating the 250th anniversary of the Army, so that's also victory.
It's heartbreaking. The President of the United States, and by association, the Secretary of Defense, Pete Hegseth, has put these young Marines from 2nd Battalion, 7th Marines out of 29 Palms, California, in this ridiculously unnecessary situation of, do I follow orders and keep my job, or do I risk my career? And that it's on top of that, it is illegal from the Posse Comitatus Act of 1878 to use the United States military to police American citizens, except in a very narrow set of circumstances, which this president has not proved warrants what he's doing in California.
And my last question for you is, as a veteran, how does this all make you feel to watch your fellow troops be through this situation?
Again, it's heartbreaking because I was once that young Marine, that was asked to do things, and hindsight always being 2020. There are regrets on things that guys do in the service, that girls do, and women do in the service. And this is definitely going to be one of those times where we've got active duty Marines going in and policing one of our own cities. This is not the and domestic part of our oath, right? This is not the and domestic part, right? This is the whims of a wannabe fascist.
Anything I didn't ask you that you want to say?
Use your voice. Stand up. We don't need one person doing a million things. We need a million people doing one thing. Appreciate you.
But you don't work for
I work for the Associated Press.
Okay.
So this will be part of a video about today.
Cool.
Where are you from?
Originally, I'm South American. I'm from Venezuela. I was born in Caracas. I was raised in Florida, and now I plan to work here in Virginia and try to make a life here.
And what brought you out here today for this protest?
What brought me out here was the parade, and I also heard about the protest, and also, there are things that aren't going right in our world, and our planet, communication is somewhere we need adjustment for something.
cities, and everyone in town is super scared, and no one. I don't think that's good. I don't think that's safe. As the mayor of Los Angeles pointed out, Los Angeles was safe on Thursday. It became unsafe when ICE invaded. I like having immigrants around. They show up. They do the gross jobs that I don't want to do. They make tasty food. I want them in my community, and if I want them in my community because they contribute good things, I need to show up for them too.
I think. And how do you feel like the country is going?
I think that Trump and the Republican movement broadly, because I don't think it's just him. To me, he comes off as like a grandpa, and his cabinet is all just grandchildren trying to get into the world. And the things that they want are all bad. They want to get rid of Social Security, which is money that we earn and pay in, so that when old people start, like, they can't work anymore, there's something to catch them and to take care of them. I think that that's a good thing. I think that immigrants are what made the country beautiful, and the freedom to come here and set up your life. And if you have an idea that you can run, like, everything that they stand for, I think is antithetical to what I believe is the American promise, which is that you can come here and you can build your life, and it will be a good life, and we will help you pursue happiness.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
about this time of year. It's like 95. It's instant. Even just walking, you can feel it right off the head.
I was here to speak. If I wasn't speaking, I still would have been here. This is where the fight is. I choose to be where it's difficult. I don't hold anything against the leaders who aren't here. I don't hold anything against people who wanted to value their own safety. But we're safe, and we were safe because we had each other. This parade, this military parade, is a protest for the international community, our own country to see. This could not be, we could not see the streets of D.C. without a fight. And to analyze the cause of change, that's where I would like to First they came for transgender people and queer people rights, people's rights. Were in control during 1934. The books on sexuality and feminism first. They're doing it again. Foundation is trying to ban all transgender people under the idea of proclamation that they were dishonest by nature. It's disgusting. American people need to stand up for transgender citizens, brothers and sisters' rights, because we're next. And sought a medical exemption for bone spurs, that they're not good enough, that they don't deserve to serve their country. That's disgusting. And it's going to cost us close to millions of dollars to retrain these people. I believe the number is around 500 million or something. It's insane. Fact check me on that. But the number to retrain the amount of people that they're losing, and I believe it's between 5,000 and 15,000 people who were already trained, is staggering. Fact check me on that. I don't want to be wrong. Yes, I do. So much to me. So nice to meet you.
Just like on the ground, trying to stuff. Really crazy. Because like, we had stuff going on in Philly,
Oh no, this is a place.
Would you like to see? Well, look, you can, my husband said, yeah, you can sit down here. There you go. That's why I always go.
That's a good thing.
I am used to it.
It's hard for me to get up when I get down.
Is it really? That's them in the middle.
Yeah, I got a bunch of rods and stuff. Could have got what hell, dude.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Army Birthday Festival, celebrating the United States Army's 250th anniversary. Please make your way to your seats to enjoy the show. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our host for today's Army Birthday Festival, the Deputy Chief of Staff for G357, Operations, Plans, and Training, Lieutenant General Joseph A. Ryan.
Of all that.
Maybe find a spot
The theme for this year's Army Birthday is This Will Defend, and for over 250 years, we have been the defenders of our nation's liberty, both here at home and around the globe. Generations of courageous women and men, truly great Americans, has stepped forward in times of peace and war to answer the call to duty. Together with our allies and partners, and with the unwavering support of you, the American people, we will continue to be the nation's first line of defense for another 250 years. On behalf of the 100,000 women and men, military and civilian, who make up our service, welcome to Washington, D.C. and the 250th celebration of the United States Army. At this time, please stand for the presentation of colors and for the singing of our national anthem, performed today by the United States Army Band, and remain standing for the invocation given by Army Chief of Chaplains, Chaplain Major General William Green.